Yo, it's your boy WesTheTech here to give you another album review. All right, now today I'm excited to review this album because it is Juice WRLD's third album. All right, unfortunately, it's also Juice WRLD's posthumous album. I hope I said that right, meaning that it's the last album that we're gonna get from him as far as new content. All right, now of course, there's a lot to get into when it comes to, his passing and how it happened and all of those different things. But I'm gonna save those for the final thoughts. All right, we're gonna review the album first, and then I'm gonna go over my final thoughts because it's gonna be a little bit longer than usual. All right, so let's start off with the ratings of the album. All right, boom. All right. So these are the overall stats of the album based off of how I grade things on, all right? As you can see, his overall score is a 6.2, which is really good. That means he's above average, all right? That means it's a good album. That means the majority of people would like this album. 6.2, 6 out of 10 people will like this album, all right? Now, we're going to go over each category one by one, all right? And we're going to start by the hit potency. All right, so with the hit potency, all right, I had to grade him with a 4. But honestly, after listening to this album, he has a lot of potential hits on here, because Juice WRLD has a very dope sound, all right? Like, the way he puts certain hooks together, the way he put his verses together is pretty interesting because it's not entirely hip-hop. Like, you could see the mixture of pop in there. You could see the mixture of other, genres in it, which makes it pretty interesting, all right? Now, unfortunately, though, when you minus, the interludes, the outro, the intro, which I believe is 4 overall. Intros 1, outros 2, and he had 2 interludes, correct, all right, out of 21 tracks. So there's only 17 actual real songs on there, which is a lot, and like I was explaining with the Pop Smoke review, the more songs you have, the less hits that you're gonna end up having. All right, so if you have, like in this, I would say maybe 6 or 7 of the songs could be hits, but because he has 17 songs on there, all right, that only gives him about a 40%, that only means like a 4 out of 10 when it comes to his hit potency. All right, so that's exactly what I graded him on. I graded him on a 4 in hit potency, but that's mainly because of how many songs is on that project. But I see a lot of hits, like a lot of songs that I think are gonna do really well. Like Wishing Wall, I believe is gonna do well. Come and Go, Life's a Mess, I think is gonna do really well. Pretty much both of the songs that have Marshmello on, I already said Come and Go, but Hate the Other Side is good. Tell Me You Love Me, it's a great track as well. Righteous, I mean, I think this is gonna have a lot of hits on there. All right, now I don't know if they're gonna all go multi-platinum, but I could see a lot of them going platinum, to be honest. Just understanding the environment, understanding the generation that we're in, a lot of kids, especially young kids, are gonna love his tracks. His tracks are awesome. All right, so I went with 4 with that. All right, now we're gonna go over the lyrical prowess. All right, now Juice WRLD, I had to grade him as a 7 with his lyrical prowess, and it's not so much the lyrics, like the bars, all right? It's mainly the sound, all right? With Juice WRLD has a very dope sound, and he puts together, like I was telling you before, really interesting hooks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really captivating. You listen to it, you catch on to it. It's catchy, but it's different at the same time. So I really see why so many people are a fan of his, because pitch wise, he may not be the best in pitch, but in just overall sound and substance, like how he puts together his content, it's really, really good. And I could tell he has a really amazing talent. Not to mention, a lot of people say, he freestyles a lot and he just pumps out stuff. And I could see that. Like, this dude really understood words, word schemes and things like that. And you could tell in his album, like, you don't expect, like, he'll start a hook a certain way, but change it up in mid-hook. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty dope to do. All right, so I had to give him a 7 on that because I was really impressed by his lyrical prowess, for real. All right, now moving on to the beat selection. Beat selection is something else that I was also impressed on in this album. I wouldn't say that I was like super amazed, but I was impressed because he had a lot of diversity. All right, number one, when you get Marshmello on your track, on your project, like, that's heaven sent. All right, because he is like up there. You know, he's with, you know, the David Guettas of the world, the Dead Mouses, you know. These cats, when they put together tracks, their tracks be so crazy but dope at the same time, you know. Now, you may not be a fan of that type of music, but that music sells. That music is huge. A lot of people love that music, all right? David Guetta, like, just look it up. Like, their type of music is something else, you know what I'm saying? Now, it could be electronic and dubstep and things like that, but you can't not listen to that music and not move to it, you know what? It's just bumping, you know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you one, like Come and Go, that junk go hard, man. Like the way Marshmello did that track, oh my gosh, it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? But we got some other interesting, you know, beats and beats that Juice WRLD was able to really play with, you know, especially with the way he puts together words. So he got a pretty good rating when it comes to the beat selection. I gave him a 7 on the beat selection, which is really good. All right. Now his feature strength, that was probably the most impressive part of the album. All right. Now Juice WRLD himself is just an amazing artist. All right. But I love his features. Like, I don't think I had one bad review on any of his features. Like, obviously you have Marshmello, which I already discussed. He's just like a genius within his own right? Then you have Halsey, all right? She comes on the track a little bit later on, all right, on the Life's a Mess track, but, you know, it was just what the track needed to just take it over the top, you know what I'm saying? Like, having that female voice, something about having a female voice on your track, it helps, man. Like, it just really puts you in a different zone when you hear it. And I was very happy to hear her on that track. That she sounded good. Now, the Kid in Polo G impressed me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's auto-tune and all of that, and, you know, it's melodic and things like that, but they sounded really good on the track. And I mean, Juice WRLD is already in that lane, so it was perfect symmetry for the three of them. You know, like, I didn't feel like anybody was out of place. Like, and I also don't think anybody would have, I don't think that any of his songs would have made sense if you put like a rapper on there. You know what I'm saying? I was expecting more melodic rappers on there, and he delivered. He made some really good choices as far as the people that he chose to feature on his album, which is why I gave it a 8, I believe. Yeah, 8. All right. Now, Trippie Redd, let me tell you, when I first heard it, I didn't even realize where Trippie Redd was. I didn't even know that he was the one doing the hook. But oh my gosh, like, it is kind of crazy because I actually like Trippie Redd's voice with the auto-tune more than I like Juice WRLD's. You know what I'm saying? Because his voice is more, you know, bassy. So he sounds better. Like, tell me you love me. Like, it sounded really good. Like, the hook sounded good, you know, and you could feel it too. So I may have to look into Trippie Redd and, you know, listen to some of his stuff because I like how his hook came along on there. So I gave his overall feature strength as an 8 because everybody he put on there complimented him. Nothing was a distraction. Nothing, you know, was a contrast or clashing. Everything worked perfect as far as his features. So great job on the features. Like I said, that was his highest score. That was an 8. All right. Now, for the last category, which would be his award worthiness. All right. Now, this, like Pop Smoke's album, is unfortunately a reflection of how many songs that he have on the album. All right. Because he has so many tracks on there, it's going to be hard to garner an award because not every track is a hit. Not every track is big time. All right. Now, again, this could have been the same situation as Pop Smoke. You know, because he's passing, they just try to overload it with as much tracks as possible, which makes sense. You know, this is another album that I probably would have rathered it be maybe, you know, 12, 11 songs. All right. You could knock out probably about half of these songs and it would have literally been Grammy Award winning. Like, I'm telling you right now, if you took out, let's say 5 songs perhaps, you know, and maybe saved it for the deluxe or something, this would have been a much better project. All right. But most people listening to this, you know, they're going to start getting tuned out past 11, past 12, you know, because it's just more of the same, you know what I mean? And that really hurts your score when you're thinking of album worthiness. But he has a shot to win some things because he's touching different genres, all right? Now, this is the same argument I made when Macklemore beat Kendrick Lamar a few years back, Good Kid, Mad City versus Macklemore's album. I don't even remember the name of the album. That's how bad it was. But Good Kid, Mad City was probably my album of the year. But I understand why Macklemore took it, because his album was more diverse. He was able to touch a lot more people. You know what I'm saying? He was able to touch the pop people, the alternative people, some rock people. It just reached a bigger audience, all right? Let's be honest, Good Kid, Mad City, as great as it was a hip-hop album. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it really stayed in that lane. Not too many songs ventured away from hip-hop. Maybe Swimming Pools a little bit, but besides that, it was really a hip-hop album. So I understood why Macklemore took that Grammy that year. And I kind of see the same thing for Juice WRLD's album, because it's so diverse. I mean, shoot, the man got Marshmello on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's very diverse to hip hop, right? I could see him winning something, all right? But because of how many songs, we might run into that same issue as Pop Smoke's album. So I couldn't give him, I had to give him more than Pop Smoke, because it is a better project than Pop Smoke's project. But I can't give him anything more than a 5, out of 10 for awards, because like I said, it's just too much music. It's too much for people to consume, you know what I'm saying? So people are going to get lost in it. All right, but overall, it's a great project. I would give it as you see, the overall is a 6.2, which is really good. All right, now moving on to my favorite songs of the album. My favorite songs of the album it's a tie. I'm not gonna lie, it's a tie, because I love the Come and Go. You know what I'm saying? Like I just love the way that song came together. Like, I don't want to ruin this. Like, I don't want to ruin this. Like that check was just hard, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that Come and Go was just hard. Like, I just love the way he did that hook. You know what I'm saying? And the beat behind it, exceptional. Go listen to Come and Go if you haven't already. But that Tell Me You Love Me is up there too now. You know what I'm saying? I'm like right here with both of them, right? Tell Me You Love Me. And I think the reason I like Tell Me You Love Me so much is because Juice WRLD actually rapped on that one. Like, that was probably the only song on there that it was just bars. It wasn't none of that extra stuff, just bars. And I liked it, you know what I'm saying? So it would be a tie between those two songs, all right? As my favorite song. Now, moving on to the final thoughts of the album, all right? This is where I really wanted to spend the most time with this album, only because, after listening to it, I was feeling some type of way, all right? Now, if you're a positive person, this is not the album for you, all right? Because it is very sad, you know what I'm saying? When you're looking at the content, not the music. The music can confuse you because the music is upbeat, sounds nice and everything like that. But when you're actually listening to the lyrics, you're like, man, this is sad. Here's a guy who's dealing with depression and anxiety on a major scale, you know what I'm saying? And his only remedy to that, in the music is drugs and alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sitting here thinking like, yo, like, this man literally did 17 tracks of anxiety and depression. Like, if I'm a producer and I'm in the middle of there, we're not getting past like the 3rd track before I'm like, yo, hold on, bro. Let's talk about some things before we finish this, because it seems like you're going through a lot right now. Like, you want to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if the producers did that, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, I don't know if they didn't do it, you know what I'm saying? But it was just really sad, and it just hit me because I'm like, yo, a lot of people are loving this album. So that means a lot of people are connecting to it. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that a lot of people are suffering from anxiety and depression, and I could understand why. We're not living in the best of times or the best of worlds right now, especially, if you're younger, in your 20s or lower, you're probably going through some things, But one thing that I would say that I was disappointed in the album, there wasn't any real reflection on, this is what I'm going through. If you're going through this too, this is what we should do. You know what I'm saying? No, like, light at the end of the tunnel. It was kind of just like, yeah, we're just going to be dark until we die. You know what I'm saying? And that's not, like, it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? I may keep, my 2 favorite songs, but besides that, I don't know if I'll listen to it again, because it's just really sad. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, I thank God that I'm not, like, suffer from those things. And I can understand how someone suffer from those things can find peace in a project like this. But I feel like it was just really missing that other side of the coin, really missing. Like, I know he did have that interlude, you're gonna get through this, and he's just saying, we're gonna get through this, but how, Juice? How are we gonna get through it? You know what I'm saying? You have an interlude saying you're gonna get through it, and then your next tracks is the same as the tracks before. drugs and alcohol. That's not how you get through that. You know what I'm saying? And it hurt me so much. I really was even looking for like hotline numbers, that I could post in this video to be like, yo, if you suffer from anxiety or depression, you know what I'm saying? This is the number to call. But I honestly didn't see any, which is even worse, because it's like, yo, there ain't no real help out there for it besides, I guess, therapy. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was stuff for like child abuse, there was stuff for substance abuse, there was stuff for domestic abuse. But I ain't seen nothing for, hey, if you suffer from the anxiety or depression, call this number, which is a problem, because there should be. All right. Now, if there is one and I just couldn't find it, whoever you are, please go ahead and comment it in the section below, and I'll pin it to the top of the comments so that whoever, needs that help will see it. If you can find that number, please comment on there. I did some research. I couldn't find it. All right. But if you're an artist that I work with, right, or you just listening to this for the first time or whatever, bro, like, I just want you to know that you are loved, all right? There are some people out there who probably love you, Don't think that you're out here alone. There are people who can help you. And like I said, like, for the artists that I work with, I extend my helping hand, man. If you got to call me or text me, like, if you need help, whatever, bro, we could talk it out. We could figure it out. Whatever it is, bro, because the drugs and the alcohol is not the answer, all right? Now, it may be the answer for the moment. It may be the answer for the night, but the anxiety and depression is going to come back, all right? And you're going to start leaning on these drugs and things to cure it, but it's not curing it. It's just hiding it for the moment. You know what I'm saying? Not only is it hiding it for the moment, but it's also destroying your body at the same time. Now, another thing I want to mention is be very careful with the things that you put out in the atmosphere. All right. Now, listening to this album, and I understand, how Juice WRLD passed was a complete accident. I believe, he was getting off of an airplane, some cops rolled up and, they had some drugs and weapons on them. It seems like he probably just tried to ingest all the drugs so that the cops wouldn't catch it on him. And he caught a seizure and passed from me, so it was deemed an accidental overdose, because he didn't mean to do it. It wasn't a suicidal action. I guess it was just a panic, and he just I think that's what happened. He just ingested it all, and long and behold, we lose him. But when you listen to his music, it's like, man, this sound anxiety, depression. He's talking to the devil on every other track, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I guess this is the best way I could say it. You got people out there like Bruce Lee, who got injured and was paralyzed from the waist down, and he willed his recovery. All right. If you could will your recovery, then it's pretty safe to assume that you could will your demise. All right. And that's kind of what I feel like Juice WRLD did. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like he spoke it into existence. All right. You got to be very careful, because the words that you portray is a powerful thing. All right. If you're out here, you're listening to this album and you're saying every line word for word because you feel the same way, be careful. All right. Because you're putting out things in the universe that you may not truly want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm watching interviews with Juice WRLD, and as much as he did suffer from these things, he didn't want to die. I know that. He did it. He wanted to get better. He wanted to get through it. He wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think he talked about that enough. He definitely didn't with his project, about pushing to get better. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of just like, this is what I'm dealing with, and this is how I'm dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? So again, if you're anyone who's suffering from those things, please, man, like, drugs and alcohol is not the way. It may be the way for the moment. If that's all you got right now, I get it. But there needs to be another way. Please find another way. And again, if you know of people who help with this, if there's something that I'm missing, something that because like I said, I'm not in this element. I'm not in this world of anxiety and depression. So if you know anything or know anyone who can help with that, please comment it below, bro, because we're all here to help each other. All right. But that's about it. That's my album review for Juice WRLD. Legends Never Die. I don't know if he had other music that he recorded and that he may release, but overall, it was a great album. And it saddens me like Pop Smoke that we're not gonna hear much from him again, because this dude was super talented, and I can honestly say that I was heading towards that direction of becoming a fan. I probably gotta listen to a little bit more of him. I'm gonna go back and listen to his first and second, and maybe his mixtapes and stuff. But we lost a good one, man. We lost a really talented dude. All right, but that's the album review. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. All right. I like to take anybody who's watching this. All right, if you're an artist and you're a beginner artist, please go look at my tech tips. All right, it's just a bunch of videos to help you with your craft, to help you get better at what you do. All right, and like always, like, comment, subscribe. All right, again, my name is WesTheTech. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure, and y'all have a good one. Peace.